can see it a little bit. See that big ring? We're heading towards, well, we're finally heading north on Interstate 5 through Sacramento, and we're going to go stop at a restaurant called Granzilla's. It's a store restaurant, and it's right off of I-5, and it's one of the most popular places in this part of the of our trip. That it gets a lot of visitors, and it has lots of yummy things in that store, like olive tasting, nuts, and really yummy sandwiches. It has a sandwich, this deli called that's in there, that makes a sandwich called a muffalata, which is a bunch of different olives ground up like a paste, and they put it on the lunch meat, and they make the sandwich with it, and it's really yummy. That's probably what I'm gonna get. Sure you don't want to take you to the city? Well, I said that to her is because we've been talking in all of our videos about how Google keeps wanting to remap us in other directions. When we clearly mapped it to stay on I-5, we came up to a fork in the road, which was 99 north through Yuba City or Interstate 5, and it switched on her again and wanted her to stay on 99 north instead of going on I-5. And she was like, I can't believe you're trying to make me go to Yuba City when I don't want to go there. And she's pretty much threatened Google Maps that she's going to use a different type of map application. So maybe Google heard us and will finally leave her alone.
Probably not.
We've had so many reroutes that we didn't even realize that we were rerouted.
And then we're like, where the heck are we?
But those reroutes were spectacular. The areas that we drove through were amazing. And
At night.
At night, yeah.
In the dark, on some random road through a canyon with 9% grade. It was not fun. Yeah, it was. Who am I kidding?
We have now driven 1,969 miles. This has been one heck of a trip, I'll tell you.
I've ever been pulled over for speeding is this area.
Yeah.
I didn't get a ticket, but it's the only place I've been ever pulled over for speeding.
That's probably because you batted your eyelashes. What can I help you with, officer? Ma'am, you just take it easy there, ma'am.
A squeaky clean, non-law breaking record.
Right.
Yeah.
We were talking with one of our amazing granddaughters earlier. She was going home with the flu. She ended up at the doctor's for a while, and I just said she has the flu. You can tell she's not feeling very good because she has those super red, rosy cheeks.
Did you map me to Granzel's? YOLO! YOLO! YOLO!
We just passed YOLO. about those mountains way out there that you can barely see through the trees there. Let's see if I can figure it out for you. So the name of that mountain range is called the Sutter Buttes. It is the world's smallest mountain range. Areas that we're driving through now are known for almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and olives.
Raisins.
And what else?
Lemons.
Lemons. Yeah, like we were surprised how good the citrus is in this area. I remember we stopped off at some little farm, which ended up being a lady's house with lots of trees. And she let us get a couple of bags of tangerines, and they were probably some of the best tangerines I've ever eaten. And they grow Meyer lemons out here.
Yeah, it's the breadbasket of the Americas. They grow rice here and all kinds of things. As you go along the freeway, there seems like the people here are pretty angry at the government for letting most of the water go into the ocean, but I don't know if you have an alternative to not letting the river go into the ocean. Maybe they want to harvest the water before it goes in the ocean or something, but yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, I don't have a thought one way or the other on it, but just very interesting. Of like every 5 miles there's a sign about how upset the farmers are about letting all the water go in the ocean. A lot of birds out here.
Yep.
It's very beautiful. The Sacramento River has lots of water in it.
I know there's a point up here on a good clear day about, I don't know, 50 miles from here. You can actually see Mount Shasta popping up over in the horizon. And it's rare that you see it because there's so much like smog or, like the color gets in the way, the horizon gets in the way.
Here's the Granzellas.
Yep, that's what we're coming up on, Granzellas.
Their billboard.
Very famous place to stop.
Yes. And if you haven't stopped there, if you're going up and down I-5, I really highly suggest you do it because it's pretty cool.
We'll show you what it looks like in the store when we get there. We have a store and a restaurant. Yeah, look over here again and you can see the buttes again. There they are right there. Sutter Buttes. One year so when my kids were little, they lived in the Bay Area when I lived in Oregon, and I would come down and visit them often. And I would always stop at Granzellas. And one year I came down and I visited Granzellas, bought the snacks and the food that I wanted to buy, and then I drove down, and on my way back...
There's Lassen way out there.
Oh yeah, on my way back, the very next night I left, the building caught on fire, and when I came back to stop at Granzellas again,
There's Mount Lassen.
It was completely burnt down. That was very interesting. Let me see if I can zoom in on Mount Lassen. Where are you? I was able to see it a minute ago. There it is. It's just a little snow peak way out there. See that?
Nope, I can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it. We'll get a better view of it when we get closer to...
Nah, because it'll be dark.
into it. We went through the national park, and I discovered, we discovered so many amazing things to see on that mountain. You can drive almost to the peak. There's a parking area at the top there that the peak is only another 1.5 miles up to the top of the mountain. But we went to a place called Bumpus Hell, and it had thermal vents that were shooting steam out of them, and it had a
Molten mercury?
molten, I think it was pyrite,
Oh, right,
a
yeah.
bubbling molten pyrite pit. It was just boiling. It was like 1,800 degrees of molten metal, and you're standing on this boardwalk looking into that. And it was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And then farther down, we got to see bubbling mud pits, and we got to see where the water from a creek was feeding into it was going into a crack in the ground, and it was feeding the hot
This
vents.
rainbow over here now.
Feeding the hot vents that was feeding the steam vents higher up on the ground.
See how pretty it is now?
Well, yeah, but your window's so dirty. Yeah, look at that. Oh, no. That's very pretty. We're going to get some sunsets for you in a little bit, because the sunsets out here are absolutely amazing.
Her.
Maybe a car wash, I don't know.